AutoAP is a new tool to streamline invoice processing. You're given a special email address that you can give to your suppliers and vendors, or you can set up rules in your email system to forward things to this address. Invoices received appear here in your inbox. The invoice is read by AI to extract key information like supplier, due date, line items, and amounts. With 2 clicks, you can review the invoice details and then send to RFMS to create a payable. Rules can be specified on a supplier by supplier basis. This includes what account codes to use. You can also indicate that you will allow payables to be created automatically for a supplier. You can specify allowances for how much shipping and tax is permitted to be included on the invoice. Here's an example of an invoice that attempted to process automatically but had a freight that exceeded the allowance specified. If you wanted to, you could manually create the payable and override this warning. In another case, an invoice has been received for a supplier that has not been set up yet in the system. Editing the invoice gives you the option to immediately create a supplier. It has a drop-down of all the suppliers in your RFMS database. If the supplier already exists in the system, but just under a different name, you can select it, and then you'll notice an alias is created so that the next invoice that's received will be correctly identified with the supplier. If this is a genuinely new supplier, you can also choose to create it here, which will also create the supplier in RFMS. This invoice is associated with a purchase order. In the list below, you can see all of the inventory that has been received, but which has not yet been costed. If I click this line, you'll see that the invoice automatically matches the lines that match on the supplier name and the purchase order number. Selecting these records allows us to create the payable and cost those purchase order lines. You can indicate that certain suppliers are allowed to auto-cost in this way. The system will automatically check every 4 hours for newly received inventory that matches an open invoice. For those suppliers that have been activated for this feature, it will attempt to cost them automatically. Also, you can choose to run it manually at any time from the inventory screen.